Here at Helmuth Ford, we are a small-town dealership with no hassle and no pressure.
Come enjoy yourselves at the annual Christmas fundraiser for A Legacy Home Christmas. Take part in giving a child a very Merry Christmas and a second chance at life. December 14th at 6:30 p.m. with dinner and live entertainment at Vermeer Global Pavilion in Pella. RSVP individually or host a table of 8. Contact 641-232-0049 or use the email on the screen. Music features Christian recording artist Todd Agnew. A Legacy Home Christmas fundraiser December 14th, 6:30 p.m. at the Vermeer Global Pavilion in Pella.
Wines from Tassel Ridge Winery can make a nice contribution to your Thanksgiving dinner. Cranberry wine is sweet with a long and smooth finish, and the 2024 Iowa Nouveau is a very fresh wine with slight sweetness that will enhance all of the dishes that are typically present in a Thanksgiving dinner. Both of these wines are made at Tassel Ridge Winery in Lighton between Pella and Oskaloosa. Tassel Ridge wines are sold in about 350 retailers located all over Iowa. Click here for the name of a retailer near you. Cranberry wine is available now, and the 2024 Iowa Nouveau will be released on November 21st.
It's the holiday season at Stam Garden Center and Nursery. Come visit Stam's to take a closer look at all that they have to offer. Stam Garden Center and Nursery is open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., closed on Sundays. Located at 2421 Highway 92, Oskaloosa. Call 641-672-1437. Experience the color this Christmas at Stam Garden Center and Nursery. Are you alone for Thanksgiving? Don't want to cook? Don't want all the mess afterwards? Or do you just need a place to go this year? If you've answered yes to any of those questions, then you're cordially invited to join the 12th Annual Community Thanksgiving Day Dinner, Thursday, November 28th, starting at 11:30 a.m. at the Sigourney Senior Citizens Center. Everyone's invited. Bring yourself, your family, your friends. There's no cost. For deliveries, questions, or if you'd like to volunteer, call Mike at 319-330-9934 or Carol at 319-330-1612. We hope to see you there. Stop into Barnwired in Sigourney the week of Thanksgiving. Monday, November 25th, get $1 off any fall drink. Tuesday, the 26th, fill a drink carrier for just $20, 16-ounce size only. Wednesday, 50% off all regular pottery. Closed on Thanksgiving. Then on Black Friday, November 29th, buy one, get one on all Christmas ornaments. And Saturday, November 30th, purchase a Corksicle mug and get a free specialty coffee on us of equal size to the mug. Stop into Barnwired the week of Thanksgiving on the south side of the square in Sigourney. Stepping Stones and Eagle's Nest Christian bookstores are thankful for you. Coming up this week is Plaid Friday, November 29th. Small Business Saturday on November 30th. November 29th and 30th only is the 2-day sale, with over 300 items on sale. Get your Christmas shopping done in one place. A coloring contest is also active now through December 30th. And enter to win a trip to Sight and Sound Theaters in Lancaster, Pennsylvania to see Noah live on stage. Over 300 items on sale. Get a book for a penny. And make sure to follow us at Stepping Stones and Eagle's Nest Bookstores on Facebook, Instagram, and SteppingStonesBookstores.com. That's what the whole show's going to be this week, is just us smiling, being weird.
What we could try to talk like Muppets. Welcome to Real Talk with Aaron and Steve.
I was thinking more when you said we could talk like Beavis and Butthead.
I think we
probably don't want to do that on a Christian program.
we might lose both of our listeners.
I don't know what happened to speaking of our listeners and our viewers, I don't know what happened to our overseas contingent. in the Middle East.
And like Thailand and stuff. When we started the show, we had a lot of people watching from Thailand, and
We offended the Thailandese.
I don't know what happened there either.
Islanders.
I don't know, but welcome to Real Talk with Aaron and Steve, and
Yeah.
we're coming to you live. Not really. We're coming to you recorded previously from the Oski Dental Studios.
Yes.
And sponsored by New Life Community Church in
You got
Wellman.
it. You're getting all the sponsors in. I don't even need to be here anymore.
Yeah. Well, we could also talk about the What Cheer Opera House. Hey, go there and listen to a concert. And apparently, like last week, we ran an ad for the Brooklyn Opera House. I didn't even know Brooklyn had an opera house.
Yeah.
So
There's a bunch of opera houses around here you can get some great entertainment at.
yeah.
Luckily, a couple of them advertised with me. So.
So yes, please patronize Steve's sponsors.
Yes,
It is.
please.
We're gonna switch gears in a little bit, but I do gotta say it's fun. It is really fun for me to participate in this channel that promotes small town values, small town connections, small town businesses, and there's all these big, huge. You got Paramount and you got HBO and Netflix and all these entertainment sources and all these news outlets around the world where people with just giant bags of money are doing their thing. But here with Steve Shetler Media, we're doing something down at the grassroots and coming to you with your values and the topics that you want to hear people talk about, which today... And I know this is really going to surprise you, Steve.
No.
Are you ready to be blown away?
I am.
I'm going to talk about joy.
Joy!
Who saw that coming?
Joy!
Everybody that's been around me for the last 2 months. And it's not because I'm happy all the time. Like, I get cranky. The other night I didn't sleep well, and this happens to me about once a week. I'll wake up at 2:00 in the morning and be like, oh, I bet it's time to get out of bed. And then I look at the clock and it says 2:10.
Yeah.
And then you just don't feel good the rest of the day. The other morning I was awake until almost 7, and then I'm like, I'm not going into work. I went and got back in bed and finally got down to the office at about 11. So,
Yeah.
but I had put it in a 15-hour day the day before. So,
Yep.
and that I felt like a toddler. You remember when Riley was so small that she would get so tired that she couldn't fall asleep?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good times. And I felt like that, like so tired that I couldn't fall asleep. Okay, so
I
we're
thought
not.
maybe you felt like a toddler.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And yes, that too. I felt like a toddler, too tired to sleep. So joy is not about circumstances, though. Happiness comes from circumstances. Like if you won the lotto, probably be happy. Honestly, I don't play myself, but that's also why I don't win. You can't play if you don't win.
I only play when it reaches ridiculous levels, and I have no chance of winning at all, ever.
My dad has preached to me against gambling my whole life. But then the first time the Powerball went over $1 billion, I called him and I was like, "Hey, Dad, did you get a Powerball ticket?" And he said he didn't, but he really thought hard about it. So we had a fun time talking about what would you do with $1 billion?
Yeah.
You'd be happy at first, but the fact of the matter is something like 50% of people who win the lottery, like in quantities of over $1 million, 50% of people are bankrupt within 2 years.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And yeah, easy come, easy go. And that's the truth with happiness. But joy is another matter, because joy is connected to relationships. And you can cultivate joy, and you can have joy even when you're not happy. We ran over that last week, but I think we need to talk about Thanksgiving today, Steve.
Yes.
We derail ourselves with these things. Thanksgiving will be 2 days after this, or 3 days after this.
Yeah.
3 days after this episode airs, and it's a great time to talk about joy, because joy is connected to relationships. But I know that some of you out there maybe have a little trepidation about time with extended family at Thanksgiving.
That can take away from your joy.
it-
Killjoys.
That's a time. And hey, like Thanksgiving comes within just a few weeks of the election that just happened.
Sure.
So maybe you're not looking forward to being around some people in your family that didn't vote the same way as you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there will be some uncomfortable conversations about that. Or maybe just sometimes people have bad memories. If something, if you experienced a death in the family around the holidays, that can make it a tough time. But I'm personally going to be heading out to Indiana to see my mom and dad are there, and my brother and sister and their families will be there. So we're gonna have a pretty good time, I think. What do you have anything going on for Thanksgiving?
We get together with some of my mom's family here, the big town of Hayesville. If you're familiar with Hayesville, which is south of Sigourney, we have a little family get together there. So yeah, that's kind of our tradition. And then we end Thanksgiving night by putting up my mom's Christmas tree. So those are Thanksgiving traditions.
You put a Christmas tree up on Thanksgiving
At night. So you're celebrating Thanksgiving. And then, at night it turns into Christmas time. It's that magical time frame.
I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna judge.
Don't look in our living room right now, Aaron. Our Christmas tree is already up here at the Shetler household.
Oh, wow. So the way that we roll at the Fleming house is that about December 17th, we'll be like, oh, boy, we probably ought to get the Christmas tree up sometime. So, all right, different strokes for different folks, right? But we can still be friends despite our differences.
Don't be a killjoy, Aaron.
Okay. Guilty as charged. I'm a recovering Grinch. I'm recovering from that. Like I used to get into the kind of the religious-y thing where sometimes Christians get down on Christmas, and you're like, well, did you know that Christmas really wasn't in December? Jesus was probably born in June, and that whole thing.
Yep.
Mary and Joseph were poor, so they probably didn't have a donkey to ride. And you just kind of get into nitpicking everything about Christmas, and Christmas is so commercialized. I just can't have any joy in my life. So I'm recovering from that. It's been a long journey, but we had a friend at church years back who was just like, oh, well, I just love Christmas. And it totally deflated all of my mopey, depressed. And we're like, wow. I guess she seems a lot happier than me. So maybe I should change. Hey, so here's the Bible thought that I've got for this week of Thanksgiving. It comes from Nehemiah chapter 8. And the story there is that the people are rebuilding the temple, and they kind of get the temple rebuilt and the city wall rebuilt. And then the whole city gets together, and a priest starts reading the book of the law. And if you know the book of the law from the Bible, there's a lot of laws, man.
Yep.
There's a lot of opportunities to mess stuff up. And yeah, there's probably times when it's really good to look at our own lives and take stock of the things we've been doing wrong or the ways that we've gone astray. A fearless moral inventory, I think is what they call it in a 12-step group. And I have not really been through that process in a 12-step group, but those gals going through 12 steps, I think you just take an inventory of every single thing bad you've ever done.
Okay.
There's probably a time and place for that, right? But the people in the story in the book of Nehemiah, the people just start weeping because they're just so broken up because they're getting in touch with all the bad things that they did. And finally, I think Nehemiah's like, ooh, we're getting a little heavy here. So he calls a timeout. And in verse 10, he says, hey, I want everybody to go home and eat choice portions of meat. Yeah. Like maybe a lamb chop. Do you like lamb?
No. I mean, not that I'm aware of. I don't know if I've ever had it. actually.
It's preparation sensitive. Like sometimes it can taste a little
lammy,
but it can also be just like the most tender.
Okay.
And in a mint sauce or a red wine reduction or something like that. I do like lamb, but okay. So whatever your favorite meat for Thanksgiving is. What will the Shetlers eat for Thanksgiving?
Oh, it's turkey, my friend. Turkey and ham are the meats.
Turkey and ham. And turkey with cranberry sauce?
Only if you want to ruin it.
Oh, I come from a cranberry sauce family.
I mean, I'm sure it's there at my mom's family's, but no, I don't partake in the cranberry sauce.
You're not eating the cranberry sauce. Well, my mom's theory was always that the white turkey meat is usually kind of dry, so you dip your white meat in the cranberry sauce.
Okay.
So we should have our listeners comment in the comment section and find out who eats cranberry sauce and who does not. I married into a family that does not eat cranberry sauce.
Okay.
So for a while there, I would make it every year and try to like, come on, everybody, we're going to have cranberry sauce. And then I would eat some, and Melissa's grandma would eat some, and then she passed away. And so now I've just given up. Because why? So anyway, choice meat, whatever your choice is. Holy cow. And I've got a neighbor who she started a tradition with her sons one year. They just felt like there were a lot of changes in their life and some negative things going on. And they were like, we need to break free from the past. Let's start a new Thanksgiving tradition. And her boys were like, pizza. And so every year they made homemade pizza for Thanksgiving.
Nice.
So that's cool. So Nehemiah says to the people, go home, eat some choice portions of meat, drink some sweet drinks.
Okay.
And I have no idea what people would have had for sweet drinks in 500 BC.
There's probably no Kool-Aid back then, no soda pop,
but
or whatever else is sweet. Is wine sweet?
I
I don't drink wine, so I don't really know.
Like there's some wines are a little sweeter, so I don't know if it was sweet wines or if they had sugar or honey. Like I don't know, you stir some honey into your goat milk or that's a new one for your Thanksgiving feast. So and then Nehemiah says, send some to those who don't have any. So this is also a season for generosity, for looking outside of your own home. And hey, I would say this: if your Thanksgiving table isn't full, or if you've got space, consider someone in your community that you could invite instead of just sending them food so they can eat it while they sit alone in their living room. Maybe have some elderly folks over. If you have access to a community where they're doing addictions recovery, have some people who are recovering come over, and maybe there's a work release program in your county, and some guys who've been in jail who are allowed to get out for Thanksgiving feast. I don't know, but if you can extend your table, that's what produces joy, is inviting people in. And so consider that. And then Nehemiah 8 verse 10 says, do these things, don't grieve. This is not a day for weeping, because the joy of the Lord is your strength. And these days, I'm just hammering that theme home everywhere I go. Everybody that I'm with, I want to hammer home. It is joy that actually gives us strength. And a lot of times, fear will give us strength. Like if we were walking down the street together and a pack of wild dogs came and started chasing us, I think we would probably move a little faster than we're accustomed to.
When I was a runner, when I used to run, Stacy and I would do half marathons and stuff. Our path would take us by kind of a more rural house. Luckily, it had a long driveway because there's this big dog up by the house that was loose, and you could hear it start woofing when it would see us. And then I would pick my pace up. Leave Stacy in the dust to deal with the dog. Of course, she'd be like, "Oh, hello, who's a good boy?"
Oh,
No,
yeah. She
I
probably
agree.
she
Fear
probably could.
Fear increased my speed in that instance.
Yeah. So fear can give us strength, but the reality is that you're you only have enough. I'm gonna nerd out a little bit on the energy systems thing here. Your ATP energy, which is stored, is only good for about 8 seconds.
Okay.
And then you have to produce more of that, and your body will produce that anaerobically for about 20 more seconds. Okay. So you've only got about 30 seconds of frenzied activity before your aerobic system kicks in, and you're going to need to have done a little work to build up your endurance.
Yeah.
So that's why you get out there and jog a little bit every day. Also,
so you can run from the wild dogs.
And that's, yes. Yeah. And 30 seconds is enough time that either you're going to escape or you're not. Yep. Or if you turn and fight, you've got about 30 seconds will tell whether you're going to win that fight with the wild dog or not win. So it turns out, too, that the part of your brain, your middle brain that takes over in fear scenarios, it's really only healthy for your middle brain to be turned on for about 30 seconds at a time. And that corresponds with about how much energy you have to fight or run. And so if you try to motivate yourself long-term through fear, your body kind of breaks down and your brain doesn't like it either. And then you start to wonder why you're so happy or unhappy. So God gives us a secret right here. The joy of the Lord is your strength. So if you want long-lasting power to change things in your life, quit using fear to motivate yourself and use joy. So I think that's what we've got for you today. Everybody out there, have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy that time with your family members or your friends or the people that you invite in. And hey, if you're looking for a church in the Wellman area, keep New Life in mind. We meet at 10 o'clock at the Parkside Activity Center in the North Park of Wellman. And hopefully we'll see you all around soon. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll do this again. More real talk coming up next week.